Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Today is October 14th, and it is Tuesday. Hopefully, all you guys had a wonderful day. Hopefully, all you guys are having a wonderful week so far. Whether you're going to school, whether you're going to work, whatever it is, hopefully, you're doing wonderful. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We are on our way to 500 subscribers on YouTube, and we just passed 400 yesterday. It's so great. It is insane to me. I believe we started doing, actual long form videos. Um, when was it? Maybe that's a good question. Um, Definitely before my senior year ended of high school. I believe like a month or two before. Um, at some point, we started doing videos long form, and in that time, we've grown a lot. We've grown way faster than I ever expected, and it's amazing. I truly, genuinely appreciate it. So thank you to everyone on YouTube who has been subscribing. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Since I was a little kid, it's always been my dream to make YouTube videos in specific. So, I really appreciate all the support. I really do. This is a dream of mine and a goal that I've always wished to accomplish. And hopefully one day we can get that YouTube play button. But the little kid in me feels great knowing that, um, you know, I'm at least somewhat successful in making YouTube videos. Outside of that, though, if you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like my groceries, like clothing, like all of that. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly, truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me that so many of you continue to watch my videos day after day. And with that being said, let's go get into the news from today. Moving on into the Trump administration segment, as we do, the first topic we have today is Trump is pissed off at Times Magazine. Trump is upset with Time Magazine for a cover photo of him released. In a post on True Social, Trump wrote, Time Magazine wrote a relatively good story on me. The picture may be the worst of all time. They disappeared my hair and then had something floating on top of my head that looked like a floating crown, but an extremely small one. Really weird. I never like taking pictures from underneath angles, but this is a super bad picture and deserves to be called out. What are they doing and why? I'm gonna be completely real with you. I did not see the tiny crown that Trump claims was put on his head. I did see the disappearing hair, but I believe that was just more of the angle of the photo. And in all honesty, it's not even really that bad of a picture. Of course, when it comes to his hair, it's not the greatest, but there are worse pictures. And I mean far worse pictures out there of Trump on the internet. I mean, sure, the angle makes him look a little bald, but his hair is literally so thin that like the wind could blow it away. I honestly think this is Trump just getting upset to get upset because there is without a doubt worse pictures out there of him that they could have used. Genuinely, this like is not a bad picture. It really isn't. Like there are far worse pictures out there on the internet of him. So I don't get why he's upset. Is it just because it looks like he's balding? Maybe. But I mean, if you look at that man's head, there is barely any hair on there. Anyways, in other news, media outlets, including Fox News, are calling out Pete Hegseth. Of course, Pete Hegseth used to work for Fox News, so this is interesting. After Pete Hegseth went further in his restrictions against journalists entering parts of the Pentagon, making it so essentially no media outlets could enter the Pentagon, I believe, except for one, and it's something that nobody's even ever heard of, which is why I can't remember the name right now. Many media companies, including Fox News, have flat out refused to sign the agreement for these new rules. In a joint statement from ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox News Media, and NBC News, they all said, today we join virtually every other news organization in declining to agree to the Pentagon's new requirement, which would restrict journalists' ability to keep the national and the world informed on important national security issues. The policy is without precedent and threatens core journalistic protections. We will continue to cover the U.S. military, as each of our organizations has done for many decades, upholding the principles of free and independent press. This is great because the media should be standing up for themselves. Genuinely, they really should. Let's be real. It does not matter what side you are on. Preventing journalists from getting information is going to have a negative impact on you and what you get to know, which is a massive problem. Information in this country is already being suppressed. There are, without a doubt, things that we don't know, things that we don't hear about. And if that gets worse, it is going to continue to make it harder for you to learn about what is going on within the United States of America, which should not be the case. Genuinely, it's not. Information, for one, should be free to access. That's why I make videos like these and, put a written form of what I do on Substack. It's because I believe that news should be free for everyone. The fact that that isn't the case is genuinely so stupid to me. But also, it should be accurate and provide people with insight on what's going on in this country. And if we lose that, we lose a hell of a lot more than you think. In other news, Trump is threatening to move the Olympics and the World Cup from Democratic states. Trump has threatened to press FIFA and the U.S. Olympic Committee to change locations for the World Cup and the 2028 Summer Olympics because of policies of Democratic officials. He called out Boston Mayor Michelle Wu in specific, along with California Governor Gavin Newsom, where the summer of 2028 Olympics will be taking place in Los Angeles, along with many World Cup events being taken place in Boston, in LA, and around the country. Trump said, if somebody is doing a bad job and I feel that there are unsafe conditions, I would call the head of FIFA and I would say, let's move it to another location. And he would do that. He wouldn't love to do it, but he'd do it very easily. He warned Boston better clean up its act and said that he could say the same thing about the Olympics. He continued, if I thought LA was not going to be prepared properly, I would move it to another location. If I had to on that one, I'd probably have to get a different kind of permission, but we would do that to Gavin Newsom. He's got to get his act together. If he doesn't play ball, we're going to have to be tough with him. Yeah, this is not going to happen. Plain and simple. And if it does, it would be another in a long list of terrible decisions by the Trump administration. Like it or not, blue states hold a majority of the largest markets in this country. Cities like LA, New York, Seattle, San Francisco, so many of these largest cities in the country are within blue states. And when it comes down to it, blue cities, which are also the largest markets in the country, in red states, I mean, they're blue. Cities like Dallas, cities like Houston, cities like Miami, those are blue cities within red states. And those are some of the largest, if not the largest markets within those states, and many more throughout the country. If you're going to pull events from these markets, you're not going to have anywhere populated to host these events. Like it or not, some city in buttfuck nowhere is not going to be able to host the Olympics better than LA. It's just not going to happen. There are a very limited amount of cities in the United States that are like LA and have the capacity to host something like the Olympics. I'm sorry, but nobody wants to go to Oklahoma to watch the Olympics. That's just not the case. Nobody wants to go to the middle of Oklahoma to watch the Olympics. Nothing against people from Oklahoma, but nobody wants to go there to watch the Olympics. Let's be real about that. It would be a terrible decision to move these events out of the biggest markets within the country, because if you move them out of the biggest markets in the country, no one's going to go to them. I mean, these are where the people are at. These are where people are living. These are where people are going to witness these events. Nobody's going to go to the middle of nowhere to watch an event like this. It's just not going to happen. Anyways, in other news, ICE has detained an American citizen because she looked undocumented. ICE agents kidnapped a U.S. citizen in Chicago after she got off work because she didn't look American to them, whatever that means. Maria Greeley, 44, was on her way home after she was surrounded, seized, and zip-tied by 3 masked ICE agents. I gotta stop skipping lines here. Without cause or warning. She was detained and interrogated for an hour because ICE determined that she didn't look like someone with the last name Greeley. Greeley told the Chicago Tribune, I am Latina. I am a service worker. I fit the description of what they are looking for. Now, they said this isn't real. They kept telling me I'm lying. I'm a liar. I told them to look in the rest of my wallet. I have my credit cards. I have my insurance. Okay, this is racial profiling at its finest, a tactic that has continuously been used by racist ICE agents, and not only is it unprofessional, but it's absolutely fucking disgusting. These agents are just picking up anyone that they see and even trying to gaslight them into saying that they aren't an American citizen just to make an arrest. It is absolutely disgusting. I mean, keep in mind, this woman is an American citizen, and they arrested her because they believe that she didn't look American. You're telling me that in the United States of America, people are getting arrested for not looking American. We are a country built off immigrants, brother. Like, there is no such thing as an American. People look different in this country. There are a variety of people in this country that come from a variety of countries and a variety of places around the world. So to say that somebody doesn't look American in the United States of America is absolutely insane. Genuinely, it really is. I should not be allowed to operate. They should be shut down. They are Trump's masked Gestapo that simultaneously acts on racist beliefs that allows them to do stuff like this, which is something that they are fully aware of. And it's sick. It is disgusting. Genuinely. It is insane that people are being arrested. American citizens, for that matter, are being arrested because they don't look American. Who the hell looks American to anyone? Like, there is no such thing as looking American because we are one of the most diverse countries in the world when it comes to how people look. We really are. And the fact that ICE agents are arresting people for not looking American is absolutely insane. In other news, ICE has fined a man $130 for not having his immigration papers on him. A legal resident of Chicago was fined $130 by ICE agents at Rogers Park for not carrying identification on him. Ruben Antonio Cruz, who was originally from El Salvador, was with a friend when immigration agents pulled up on them. Cruz said, "I was looking at my phone and they got out and asked, 'Do you have your papers?' I told them yes, but they were at home." Cruz asked if the agents wanted to see them, and the agents told him no, putting him into a vehicle and driving him around the neighborhood, questioning him before verifying his identity. ICE agents eventually confirmed his identity and let him go, but not before fining him $130 for not having documents on him. Now, under federal law, it is a requirement for permanent residents older than 18 to have their documents on them at all times. According to that federal law as well, failing to comply will result in a misdemeanor or fine. But that fine is not supposed to be more than $100, and this fine was $130, which is why I have a problem with this. It is expensive to live in the United States already, way more expensive than it should be. When I go to grocery shop, I buy a handful of things. Like last time I went grocery shopping, I buy frozen food. I'm a college student. I don't really have an oven or like something nice to cook in. Best I got is an air fryer and a microwave. So here's what I got when I went grocery shopping. I got some chicken strips. I got some sweet potato fries. I got some ketchup. I got 2 boxes of egg rolls. I got some pizza. 5 things. And I spent $45 on those 5 things, which is insane. I mean, that $30 could be essential for someone when it comes to buying groceries or buying dinner for the night. I mean, $30 is pretty average when it comes to going to get dinner at a restaurant these days, which is also insane. Honestly, I think finding people for not having their papers on them in general is stupid. The fact that this is a law at all is so dumb to me. But I mean, we aren't seeing anything done by this administration to make things cheaper. And that $30 really could be a difference when it comes for somebody getting their next meal or paying for their groceries or eating dinner that night, which I see as a massive problem. I mean, food should be a human right, plain and simple. The fact that food is not a human right is insane. It really is. People should be able to get food. They really should. But the fact that groceries are so expensive already, as it is, and we are charging people for not having their papers on them in the middle of the street while they're sitting at a park with a friend. Like, you're not carrying your passport on you when you're in the middle of a park with your friend. That's just not the case. So the fact that we are charging people for this is absolutely insane to me. I think this law is stupid. I really do. I do not think people should be required to keep their papers on them. Really. Like, it is stupid. And the fact that people are being fined for not carrying their papers on them is stupid. You know? Like, food isn't a human right, but you better keep your immigration papers on you, or else you're not going to be able to buy your groceries this month. Isn't that wonderful? Anyways, moving on into our other news segments, the U.S. Supreme Court has rejected Alex Jones' appeal of his Sandy Hook defamation lawsuit. The Supreme Court has rejected an appeal from Alex Jones, a popular internet conspiracy theorist, for over 1.4 billion in a defamation lawsuit from 2012 for his false claims that the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was a hoax. He also asked for emergency relief from the sum, but that was denied as well. Jordan's lawyers argued that the sum can never be paid, but it doesn't matter, as the Supreme Court has ruled he will still have to pay that fine anyways. Good. Genuinely. Like, nobody should be able to claim that children aren't dying and get away with it. Hate to break it to the Alex Jones fans, if he even has any. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone being an Alex Jones fan. But that man is not Israel. He's not going to get away with children dying and saying that children are not dying. I don't care if it bankrupts him. He is a terrible person, anyways. And if he made the light of death of children, he should have to pay every single dollar to those families. Genuinely. I mean, like, what are we doing here? How are you going to complain or claim that a school shooting didn't happen when it very much so did, and then throw a fit when you get sued for it? What do you expect, dude? Genuinely, what do you expect? I hope it bankrupts him. I already know that he declared bankruptcy, and so did his company. So pay the fine. Pay it. Let's see it. I'm sure these families will unfortunately never see that money, but pay the fine. Anyways, moving on into our final topic for tonight, save the best for last, as this one is a big one, and there's a lot to discuss here and a lot to talk about. Leaked Telegram messages show young Republican leaders being extremely racist to each other, and much worse. And by much worse, I mean much worse. Leaders of the young Republican groups throughout the country have had their Telegram chats leaked, displaying racism, homophobia, and much, much more in their chat logs. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people. They joked about putting political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about raping their political enemies and making them commit suicide, and also expressed support for slavery. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used variations of the N word in the chat on multiple occasions. Peter Glunta, chair of the Republican state Young Republicans, said that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, referring to an upcoming vote if he should be the chair of the group. He even doubled down, saying, I am going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We want true believers. Joe Malingino, however you say that, a previous general counsel for New York State's Young Republicans, replied, Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. And that's not even the bare minimum, as a total of 2,900 pages of chats were leaked from early January to mid-August. Chatters talked about the love for Nazis within the Republican Party, the president's work to suppress documents related to Epstein's sex crimes, and keep in mind, that's not even half of it. There is so much more. So much more. And by so much more, I mean so much more. 3,000 pages, by the way. So let's talk about it, because I have a lot to say. I know there are MAGA members in my audience, so I have a question for all of you. For months, I have called MAGA racists, fascists, Nazis, and so much more, and every time you defend yourself saying that that is not the case. But these are not only prominent Republican leaders, but prominent MAGA leaders within the United States. This is what your leaders are saying and supporting. So, my question is, do you agree? This is standing proof that everything I have been saying about MAGA is true. So will you continue to blindly support it? Or will you finally jump ship? Keep in mind, these get insanely worse. Almost 3,000 pages were released. So if this doesn't change your mind, what will? This is without a doubt the platform of MAGA, and if you think that you're still so great for supporting them, I'm going to be blunt with you. You are the scum of the earth. You have allowed Donald Trump and the people around him to destroy this country and push it forward with a mindset that is detrimental to society. When it comes down to it, MAGA is not going to win. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. In 10 years' time, all of you are going to have to pretend that you never supported the MAGA cause, just as the people in Nazi Germany did all of those years ago. So, will you continue to support those who are actively impacting this country negatively? Or will you open your eyes and push for a country that is actually going to make your future and others' futures better? The choice is yours, and I really hope that you make the right decision rather than siding with people who decide to call black people the watermelon people, or decide to say that they should rape their political opponents, or decide to say that they should shove their political opponents into gas chambers. That is what Nazi Germany did. They shoved their political opponents into gas chambers. Time and time again, I have compared this administration to Nazi Germany, and supporters and people who are connected to this administration are saying and suggesting the same things that those people did. They're even saying that they love Hitler. So my question is, the final question is, are you going to support this? Or are you going to push and change to make this country better? Bray 2030, everyone. Let's build America a better place. With that being said, though, thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. It has definitely been a very interesting day in the news world, that is for sure. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. All the support would be greatly appreciated. As mentioned, we are trying to get 500 subscribers before the end of the year. We're in the home stretch, less than 100, so let's get there. All the support would be greatly appreciated. And if you're on Substack as well, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They have me for the things that I need to pay for in college, like my groceries, like food, like all of that. But with that being said, thank you everyone for watching today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all